If you ride with me, I gotta work for the both of us.
So many times cooking can be a chore, and especially when we've gone to work, we've come back and we're just tired, we just end up eating anything we see. Today's rice and beans is simple, it's easy, it's healthy and nutritious, and it all comes together in one pot, meaning minimal washing for you to do. So let's get started. Rice and beans is one of the healthiest meals we can eat. Now, while rice on its own or beans on its own cannot provide us with the essential amino acids, that is the building blocks of protein, combining the two, that is combining rice and beans, come together to form a complete protein that helps to build and repair the tissues in our body. Plus, beans provides fiber, which is great for digestion, and we get energy from the carbohydrates in the rice. So the combination of the two provides vital vitamins and minerals that make it a balanced and very nutritious meal. So for this recipe, I'll be using 1 cup washed basmati rice, 1 can black beans, 1 green pepper, 1 red pepper, 2 onions. Here I'm using 1 yellow and 1 red onion, 1 small can of sweet corn, about 1 cup, and some spices. Here I'm using half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon of dry red pepper, and half a teaspoon of cumin, 5 cloves of garlic that I've grated here or chopped if you want, and 1 can of chopped tomatoes. So to begin, we add about 3 tablespoons of oil to our heated pan. I'm using olive oil. Then we add our chopped onions, chopped red pepper, chopped green pepper, and about 1/4 teaspoon of salt to the pan. We reduce our heat to medium-low and stir the mixture till the onions are soft. Now we don't want them burnt, we just want them soft. I'm using a combination of yellow and red onions because red onions are a bit higher in antioxidants than the yellow onions, but yellow onions are also milder, so I like the balance of both varieties in this recipe. So we want to stir our onion mixture to avoid burning. And once our onions are soft, or once they look soft, we add the chopped garlic and stir till soft, for about a minute. And then you add the canned tomatoes and spices and mix to infuse the spices into the mixture.
Cause we stay in control in the name of love.
Next, you add the rinsed and drained beans, the washed and drained rice, sweet corn, and 1 cup of vegetable stock. Now, if you don't have vegetable stock on hand, you can just always crush 1 vegetable stock cube in 1 cup of hot water to achieve this. We'll give everything a good stir and taste. You can add additional salt and pepper according to your taste. Here I added 1/4 teaspoon salt and pepper. It's always better to taste and adjust after the stock has been added because usually the stock has salt in it and we don't want to add more salt before the stock has been added and then realize that the salt is too much in the end. So next we'll leave the mixture to boil and then turn the heat to low and cover the pot. We're covering the pot because we want the food to just steam together for 15 minutes. So while we wait for our food to cook, we'll cut up some green onions and coriander leaves or cilantro leaves. After 15 minutes, we check our rice and beans to be sure our rice is soft. Now, sometimes you might have to simmer for longer depending on the type of rice you're using. Once our rice is soft, we'll turn off the heat, add our cut spring onion and coriander or cilantro leaves, stir together gently. We don't want to break up the rice.
If you ride with me, I gotta work for the both of us. I'll put you in the driver's seat. Don't gotta hurry in the name of love. When you ride with
And cover the pot for about 5 minutes to let the flavors infuse into the food.
put you in the driver's seat. Don't gotta hurry now, cause we stay in.
And our food is ready. I mean, look at all those beautiful colors. Just lovely. I'm eating my rice and beans with some roasted tofu. Absolutely delicious. So for the next recipe, we'll be making pasta. And for this pasta, we'll be using white sauce. Typically, white sauce is made using dairy products, but for this recipe, I'll be using purely plant-based products. So I'll be substituting cashew nuts for the cheese in this recipe. If you're allergic to nuts, you can also use sunflower seeds. In my opinion, this is even a cheaper option because cheese is expensive at the stores. Cashew nuts are quite affordable. They are also extremely rich in magnesium and good for our heart health. They're just totally beneficial for our bodies. So let's get started. So for this recipe, I'll be using whole wheat pasta, about 400 grams, some cut up broccoli, some spices, about 5 white button mushrooms, cut up as well, 5 cloves of garlic, 5 cloves of chopped up garlic, 1 cup of raw unsalted cashews, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So while you put your pot of water on fire in preparation to cook your pasta, you soak your cashews in hot water for 10 minutes just to soften them and make them easier to blend.
If you run with me, I gotta work for the both of us.
You want to make sure you're cutting your broccoli in very little bits so that it cooks quickly. So next, you boil your pasta according to the package instructions. So while your pasta is boiling, while you are stirring intermittently so it doesn't stick together, you blend your cashews with lemon juice and your spices. I'll be putting all the ingredients in the caption below. I will use 3/4 cup of water. So once your pasta is ready, you sieve the water out and reserve 1/4 cup of the pasta water, just 1/4 of the cup. So once you've sieved out the pasta or the water out of the pasta, return our pot back on fire and add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil or any oil that you have at home. I'm using olive oil. So once the oil is hot, we add our garlic and mushrooms to the pan. Stir fry for about 1 minute to remove the moisture from the mushrooms. Next, we add our broccoli and stir fry for about 1-2 minutes to ensure that the broccoli is soft before we add in our sieved pasta. Next, we add our cashew mixture into the pot and then rinse the blender with the 1/4 cup of pasta water that we had set aside while we were sieving our pasta. We rinse that with the cup. I later realized that wasn't enough and I had to add 1/4 cup more water into the blender. So if you're reserving your pasta water, try to reserve about 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup was more adequate in this recipe. You stir your pasta together thoroughly so that the sauce is well combined into the pasta, and then you taste for any spices you might want to add. I added 1/4 teaspoon of salt and some pepper flakes. Depending on how you want it, you can add more pepper if you want. You can add more salt if you want as well. Finally, we'll be adding some cut up basil leaves into the pasta. Stir thoroughly, and there you have it. Your pasta is ready. It's really good. It's creamy, it's delicious. And there you have it, 2 easy, healthy recipes that you can make on a busy day. If you try any of these recipes, please let me know in the comments. If there's anything else you'd like to see on the channel, drop in the comment section. I'd like to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and I'll see you in the next video.